Well, the time is ticking when it comes to parking meters like this one. This is good news because at its peak yesterday, the river was sitting around 11 feet. And if you take a look over my shoulder, you'll notice that mud, that muck on the street. We couldn't see that yesterday because the water was up near this caution tape, but now we know it is making its way down. I wanted to sit down at this nice little table to give you some perspective at how much snow is actually building up. If you take a look, I'll scrape some off for you, but it is pretty thick there. I feel like I am standing in a snow globe. The flurries have not stopped this morning. It's like someone just keeps shaking it. They're driving us crazy. You can hear it. I'm trying to scrape it off. It is not budging. If it's on this table, ladies and gentlemen, it is also on the road. So this is definitely something to be aware of as you head out the door. The roads are salted and snowplows have gone by, but you know, that can only do so much when it comes to driving in these conditions. We actually have a snowplow going through right now. Thank you so much. So when we drove up to the Red Pony, we were on Main Street, right near that historic square. And as we were looking at it, we didn't really see a lot of damage. That's because we had to take an alley and go to the back. If you take a look behind me, this is where the bulk of the damage is, but owners say it's relatively good news because the historic part of the building is still intact. Snow plows are just doing work out here. You can see how big this snow pile is. The parking lots are cleared, the streets are getting cleared, and it was quite a hike to get up here. I am going to go ahead and slide down. Okay, don't try that at home, kids.
And Temple, you live in the Nashville area. You've been covering this story from the very beginning. How is the community handling this?
Well, that's a tough question because what we're seeing a lot here in Nashville is the community is inside. The community are the ones who aren't walking around the bomb site. So a lot of people I've encountered have been tourists still coming to the area and just speaking with people from different backgrounds on Twitter, Facebook, also out in the streets. It's not something anyone's happy about. Nashville, a big tourist area. It's a lot of where our money comes from the tourism industry, but a lot of people are just wanting them out. They're wanting respect for the city so that our business owners can breathe.
In fact, we're following some breaking news out of the Gulch, a busy and popular part of downtown Nashville, and we want to get it out to Fox 17 News Temple Ricky. Temple, watching a lot of officers working out there as they're trying to figure out what all is going on with this dumpster and this body.
AJ, so let's just walk you through the timeline. Early this morning, we know that Nashville Fire responded to calls of a dumpster fire. And when they got here and they put it out, that's when they actually found a body inside the dumpster. So still quite a scene behind me with Metro Police responding. Now, you will see a few dumpsters in your sights when you're looking up there. None of those are the dumpsters in question. None of those are the dumpsters involved. So keep that in mind. Since we've been on scene, we did see the fire department leave, and we have seen crime scene investigations arrive. We have about 3 of their vehicles on scene, just working to really figure out exactly what happened. I did speak with Metro police officers and I asked about the gender of the body, if they were able to identify any characteristics, and they said at this time the answer is no. They do have to hand it over to the investigator. So right now we are just waiting to learn more. They did arrive about 10 minutes ago.
Fox 17 News reporter Temple Ricky live there now. Temple, looks like there's more activity behind you. What are you seeing and what can you tell us?
Sarah, right now investigators are looking into a 3-wheeler. You might know the name as a slingshot. They're taking pictures of it. They're rummaging through the car. I did see a bag. It appeared to be filled with clothes and also shoes that we saw on the street earlier this morning. If you take a look, orange tags on the building letting you know they are unsafe and that you cannot be inside of them. And when I talked to that viewer who gave us the tip, she let me know that the majority of these buildings were evacuated and are without power. Some of them have been condemned because trash is just piling up everywhere, and also from those floodwaters. You were seeing those windows open, really just airing it out because it smells like mildew. It smells like trash really throughout this whole complex. And you're seeing the mattresses piling up, insulation as well. These dumpsters are also full of trash. So it is now just a question of when Public Works will get out here and help clear this out. Charleston's shaken when a gunman opened fire inside Mother Emanuel 5 years ago today. Chaplain Rob Dewey responded to the scene 10 minutes after shots were fired. The shooter still on the loose when he arrived. I sat down with Dewey as he described the hours that followed. The mother of AME churches left bleeding.
It was like something I've never seen before.
In his 28 years with Coastal Crisis Chaplaincy, Rob Dewey saw just about everything. Or so he thought.
I knew that there'd been a shooting in the church. We had no clue what would happen in the next 2 hours, that we would be told that 9 of the 11 people were killed. 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 parishioners who were studying the Bible were killed. Had no clue that was going to happen.
His chaplaincy brought him to scenes of homicides, suicides, the Sofa Superstore fire, and the killing of Walter Scott. A community already on edge after an unarmed black man was shot, attacked by an act of evil just 2 months later.
To go to a church and know that Wednesday Bible studies happen all the time, that this was the result of this Wednesday Bible study.
Memories still raw from the scene.
All the streets were blocked off. It looked like Armageddon.
As we remember the lives lost and the families affected, Dewey's advice is to move forward in faith.
It doesn't matter the race, the color of your skin. Just go in humbleness and a servanthood with God's heart and be there for His people.
And find key ways to improve.
A learning point would be that that we can always do better. So I think that's our challenge now.
A community coming together to care for one another. Reporting in Charleston, Temple Ricky, count on 2.